Good morning, and lovely viewers all around the world. Rise and shine with Global Entertainment News Morning Boss. I've been your host. I'm your host, Steven, ready to kickstart your day with all fresh news and story. And right here with me, bringing our own spark to the studio is.
Bisola.
All right, let's dive into today's headline, fresh from Punch and the Daily Trust newspaper. Today's top story from the Punch: gunmen kill 9-month-old baby, three farmers in Plateau. Gunmen have killed four persons, including a 9-year-old baby uh, at Ikwegboro community, Basa local government area of Plateau State. It was learned that the attack, which occurred on Wednesday, led to the killing of two women and one man, while two others sustained serious injuries. The four were said to be conveying tomatoes from the farm at Ikeguru community, from where they plan to transport them to a foreign Ghana market in Jos, where the gunman attacked them, leading to their deaths. The spokesman for the Mango Youth Development Association, Joseph Trudeau, confirmed the killing to Punch Metro in Jos on Thursday. According to Chudi, the victim had been evacuated to the mortuary, while those injured were transported to the hospital where they are actually receiving treatment.
Oh, this is a sad story, I guess. Imagine we cannot work on a free land again. From the markets, kidnapping a lot of people and even killing a 9-month-old child is so tragic,
Well,
so bad.
well, in cases like this, I tell you, we always want to blame our government for the inability to provide more
Security.
securities around the globe. We have over more than 50,000 policemen in the force. We have more than hundreds of thousands soldiers. I believe our government should really focus on putting out the military into positions and leaving it
Police
for
alone
police
to do.
to be able to do this. But I think it's something that is over their capacity to do. It shows that they are not eligible to do this kind of work. They are not capable to take care of our security in the country. Again, let's probably bring in the military be able to attack them. I think if the military is outside, there are more checkpoints around. All these things will be reduced. And
Yeah.
all right, moving up to our next story today from the Punch newspaper: how Nigerians lured to Ghana end up in hotels. Ghanaian journalist Mashak Okai of PN Media Ghana writes Arewa Punch on the fast-growing and embarrassing sex trafficking scandal currently rocking Ghana and involving many unsuspected and impressionable young Nigerian girls who are lured into jobs promised but end up in hotels. A growing crisis of sex trafficking involving young Nigerian girls in Ghana mining town of Obuasi has come to light, with victims lured under the pretense of legitimate employment only to find themselves trapped in sex trade. The heartbreaking testimony of a young Nigerian girl who managed to escape her traffickers revealed the dark underbelly of a thriving illicit industry in the bustling town. A girl whose name is being withheld for her safety told Ghana-based media.
This is so sad, and this has been happening for a very long time. This is not the first time it's happening. Imagine you promising someone a job outside just to get there, and you use the person as a prostitute, using them to do all manner of things
Well, I think this is actually that's actually been something that has been going on for
for
a
a very
long
long
time,
time. Yeah,
and most of if I tell you most of our leaders, most of the eligible men, people
they
become
are into it.
the big men in society. They are the one actually funding
Mm-hmm.
activities that really happen around because for this kind of thing to be happening and they are not
Doing
really caught about
anything,
it. Definitely, there are some people in
backing them up.
the trafficking, the drugs aspect, and everything.
Because
They
if
are the godfathers to it that protect these
mhm,
people.
because without money they cannot even go to this extent.
Yeah.
As well.
All right, moving on to our next story from the Punch this morning. Indian plane crash death, toll rise to 265. Rescue team which suffered dogs combined the crash site on Friday of a London-bound passenger jet, which plugged into the resident area of Indian Ahmedabad city, killing at least 265 people on board and on the ground. One man on board the Air Indian Boeing 7873 Dreamliner carrying 242 passengers and crew miraculously survived Thursday ferry crash, which left the tailpiece of the aircraft jutting out of the second floor of a hotel building for medical staff from a nearby hospital. The nose is from Hill landed on the canteen building where students were having lunch. Wow, this is actually very,
This
very
is so sad.
so
I
so
even
sad.
heard that some, like I think a three family ran from India to go to US and they were in the plane crash.
Oh,
So bad. It's a
it's
great loss.
yeah, it's actually very sad to hear about plane crash. I think plane crash is one of the, I think if not the second or the third deadliest accident that can actually, so someone that can actually think of when it comes to, I actually see drowning as one of the worst because you look here, look there, you can't really get help.
Mhm.
Also on the air also. If you even get crashes on land, at least you see people that will come around to come and save some. So but it's actually very, very sad to hear about plane crash. I think it's been a while now we heard about
Yeah,
plane crashes
and
like this.
I advise all these pilots, and let me
Yeah,
say the maintenance is very very important. Before you take off, make sure you've checked everything checkable.
yeah,
Know that okay, we are good. Yes, nobody says we don't know when things happen, and we don't pray for bad things to happen. But they say prevention is better than
yeah,
cure.
yeah.
We should probably prevent them before it actually happens.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of I think the Senate president when his plane almost crashed, where he was even praying. You know that nobody prays for
Bad things to
bad
happen.
things to happen to them. All right, moving on to our next story today from the Punch. Police orders arrest 14, recover fake currency in Jigawa State. The police have announced a major breakthrough in Jigawa State as just joint security operatives conducted a successful raid on the criminal hideout in Jigawa village, the Badin Kudu local government area, leading to the arrest of 14 suspects and the recovery of incriminating items. It could be recalled that on June 11, 2025, the Jigawa State Police Command has reported another incident involving fraudsters from the Jawa local village who attacked Dumos village, resulting to the death of one Ismail Ibrahim, 60 years, and injuring 8 others. According to the statement made available to newsmen on Thursday in Dutse, the state capital, by the state police public relations officer SP Shasu Adam, the operation, which took place on June 12, 2025, the Democracy Day, results in the arrest of 14 male suspects and the recovery of incriminating items.
That's a good one, and we need this like often. It should be often.
No, actually, this is actually the news you should be hearing
Exactly.
mostly every time
Yes,
about the good works of the police, good work of the
militaries
military.
and all.
Not hearing about death tolls and the same people that kills people escape. It's not what we should be. We should be hearing about going to people's hideouts, getting more information about how these people operate and how they move. Most of the mistakes our security do is that when they arrest criminals like this, have a seminar with them for them to be able to work with the police. This is how they do in the United States. If you arrest somebody, instead of taking that person to jail, at least try to get some information from that person that will lead to more arrest of these people. When here in the country, we just take you to jail, take you to court, die the matter, and it keeps happening and
Mhm.
happening again.
And
It's, it's,
I will employ the government to provide arms for these people. They really
yeah.
need arms. They can't do it on their own. That's why I see most of them flee away from the scene when it happens because what they want to use to combat
So sometimes
the
I'm often
kidnappers.
surprised when I see all these terrorists with the kind of
Arms they
ammunition they
take,
use.
yeah.
You see these rotating bullets that something our Nigerian police can't even hold. You
Mm-hmm.
see them using them. I think it's yeah. I
They should
second
go
that.
for
I second that.
training.
They need more awareness to this kind of thing and let them know that okay, oh, if it's if you are giving us this, let's know. If you are giving us more protection, by now I believe our police and army should have bulletproof vehicles, bulletproof vests. It's only our politicians that are the ones we are using bulletproof cars and everything. I think it's needed
Yeah.
to look into. All right, moving on to our next story from Punch this morning. NESREA shuts 25 facilities in 4 states. The National Environmental Standard and Regulation of Enforcement Agency has shut down 25 facilities across 4 states for violating environmental laws. According to a statement released on Thursday by the agency Assistant Director of Press Nwamaka Ejiofor, the affected facilities spanned various sectors in Anambra, Enugu, Bayelsa, and Rivers State. She said that they were shot for various environmental crimes, including refusal to conduct environmental impact assessment before the commencement of the project's environmental audit and lack of functional influence treatment plant, among others. In May, the agency shut down 21 facilities in the Federal Capital Territory for failing to comply with extant environmental laws.
I think this should actually serve as a warning to others. When they tell you to do something, you obey the law, you abide by
You know,
it.
I think this law sef should they should actually bring this law into Lagos State, but this is the line of law that Lagos State is. I tell you, with the kind of environmental offence
Yeah,
we
they are
have
doing it.
anywhere.
It's getting, like is stage. Let me
You
just
know,
say stage. They start from a particular place.
yeah.
It's stages.
If this law is actually enforced more in Lagos State, I tell you, you will see companies that even shops, even small business owners, you see them when they see debt around themselves, they'll
Mm-hmm.
be the ones who want to pick it up and throw it away.
It's not even alone. It's not even about death alone. We've talked about this, I think, 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Because see, I used to say prevention is better than cure. It's
Yeah.
better we prevent it now for it to happen and be like, yeah, all this and that. You'll be shouting, you'll be saying government are not doing their work. But government are trying to help us. What are we also doing?
And the mistake
How
we
are we helping ourselves?
the mistake we do make in the country is that we forget about climate change.
Mm-hmm.
Climate change can actually come at a time that you don't expect. It can lead into flooding and everything. We are very lucky that we don't have cases like erosion in the country, cases like tsunamis, cases like earthquake. This is what we will be grateful about, that we don't have this kind of natural disaster that affects the country. When it comes to environmental things like that, I think we should take it more serious. And
Serious, yeah.
all right, moving up to our top story today from Daily Trust. 8 family members die in Kaduna Zaria auto crash. A tragic accident on the Kaduna Zaria highway on Monday evening has left 8 members of a single family dead and 2 others battling for their lives in the hospital after a speeding vehicle lost control and rammed into pedestrians waiting by the roadside. The heartbreak incident occurred at about 6 p.m. in the Barakuluhu area along Kaduna Zaria Highway during the Eid Kabir festivity. Well, I think this is actually what I actually take from this story is that the fact that the whole family
Mm-hmm. Eight
actually
family.
just is very very sad. This is some people will say is the work of voodoo work,
It's the
but
work of the devil.
definitely when people narrate this kind of story to people, like a whole family just wiped out in a particular accident, it's actually very 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 it's one of the sad stories someone can ever
Yeah.
think of.
And it was even said that the family that lost their life is from a prominent politician. If not, it would have died down. Like they would have covered it, they wouldn't have showed anything, they wouldn't have even posted any news about it. And we all driving, we should be very, very, very cautious. We driving, we should some people will be driving, they will be on their phone. Some people will be driving, they will be dancing. Some people will even be driving, they will not hold the steering.
But see, apart from even driving, see anybody even driving at a particular time will always be conscious of accident. But the
Mm-hmm.
most mistake that people make is that they forget they tend to forget that mechanical issues can
Can
happen at any
happen
time.
anytime.
The best thing they need to do is that when they wake up in the morning, if you are heading out to a particular place,
Service
try
your
to
car.
warm your car, service it, at least know what is actually happening to that car in the morning, because it can even be a work of a particular person. Someone can go in and lose your tire, probably lose it. Someone that wish you bad can actually do something bad to your car, and you take that car into the road before you know it. We hear cases about someone actually losing an engine of a
Mm-hmm.
particular car or losing a bolt of a tire when you get into the road. Bad things happen. I think we should be more cautious about our mechanical faults than you see someone that knows that he or she's car has brake issue. This person will take that car into do. I've seen downfalls in Lagos that the car don't start unless you push it. You see some people, mommy T, push my car first. When you push the car, Mhm.
There's
Can't
even
move it.
one I've experienced before. There was no petrol inside that tricycle at all. It was water. And we were going for 1 hour journey, if not for a policeman stopping us on the road. I was like, okay, he put his hand into the place that the fuel is, and like him dipping his hand there and bringing it, I noticed that it was water. They had to stop that man. They had to hold him that we all should go and enter another tricycle. That this is very dangerous. Imagine a 1 hour journey and they're using water to transport us.
These are one of the cases we shouldn't be more emphasizing about the government and what the government needs to do for us. We should really look into ourselves and know the
Yeah.
best things to do. All right, moving up to our next story today from the Daily Trust. Mokwa flood, one more body recovered 8 days after. 8 days after the devastating flood that swept through Makwa town headquarters of Makwa local government area in Niger State, a mutilated body of one of the victims has been recovered. Residents told Daily Trust that the body was found on Thursday in a farm along the bypass near a location popularly known as Dam. According to eyewitnesses, the victim could not be identified as the body was already badly decomposed. He was buried on the spot where his remains were discovered. Wow.
The loss of the deceased, rest in peace.
Well, it is actually very, very sad because this Mokwa flooding has been, I
Has been
think
going on for a while last
last
week,
week,
yeah.
and this happened, this incident happened after the government has been tipped and informed that this is going to be happening because they felt that the dam and everything has open and they need to start creating what was it called, how the water is going to pass, and the government, the local government actually knew about this before it happened. This is main reason why the Ariwa came out last time to blame
The
the
government
government
on
for
this.
the incident. I think it's very, very sad, and we had about 200 people losing their houses. Many people are not being found, and I tell you, there will be more cases of bodies after because flood can actually take you from this particular place to like 20 kilometers, 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers of a particular place, and you will not know where the body is actually been. And it's something the government really needs to come into together and find situations. I think more search, rescue search teams
It's not
be
only the
deployed
rescue
everywhere.
search now. Now they should do something that will prevent this
Yeah.
in the future.
In a country like Nigeria, if things doesn't happen, we don't
Mm-hmm.
prevent it. We prefer let it happen first before it
Yeah.
happens. This is a
So
country
sad.
now.
So sad.
All right, viewers, thank you for joining us today on the Breakfast Show. I'm being your host, Steven. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms for more news and updates. Have a blessed day. God bless.